want anyone to be confused. School is very important. You need your education and your diploma. To have a very successful life, you need to go to college. But why is it that, like, a lot of schools do the stupidest of things? Like, here's one thing I never got. Why is gym class a requirement? Now, I was told it was because, it's to keep the kids healthy. Alright, so why would you schedule certain kids, so that it would actually go against them? Think about it like this. I remember, back in my old schedule, certain people would have gym class that would come before lunch. Now, why is this a problem? Because for lunch, they give you just basically grinded up garbage that just sits there in your body. You don't have the opportunity to work it off. Why not just have it like lunch, you eat the garbage, and then you go out and work it off? Why not? It's so much better than just having, like, I don't know, gym on, like, first period. Everyone's going to be tired as shit already, and then you're going to make them even more tired for second period. Alright, now it's your Jimmy, get your head off the table. I just ran like a mile. I don't care. We're doing like X equals whatever. Keep your head up. Screw it. It just sounds so counterintuitive. I'm thinking about it. Then we get like Jimmy here. He's pushing like 250 pounds here. Poor bastard. It's probably not even his own fault. He's walking around like his breath is all heavy, and it's all because you decided to do gym class the first period instead of right after lunch. And you care about keeping the kids healthy. Yeah, really, you really do. You see, I don't get that. It's always drove me crazy. And here's one thing, and I'm someone who's 20, almost 22. By the time you're watching this, I'm probably already 22, since it's like 2 months before my birthday. So, I'm not even in school. But I just think about it nowadays, and I just think I probably would have had a better chance in school if we didn't have the stupid credit system. Like, what the hell is this? The credit system. Oh, not only do you have to do the classes and pass all of them, you have to do a bunch of medial other tasks and build the credits all the way up. And I just think it's just like, it's like extracurriculums and stuff like that. No, I don't we legitimately had a meeting of like extra like credit and whatnot. It's like, if you want all the credit, you're gonna have to do this thing that's completely outside of school, and this thing and this thing. Stop. Just let the kids pass their tests and then let them go. Who cares? At this point, anyway. It feels like a lot of the time, it's more on luck than anything else that you graduate. At this point, that's how it feels like. I never had the opportunity to graduate. You want to wonder why? Credits. That's why. And I put in the effort. Don't say I didn't. I put in the goddamn effort. I didn't have enough credits for multiple reasons, which I don't want to go over because a lot of them are way too personal, and I don't want to burst into tears. So let's move on to something else. And here's something I don't get. I feel like if we actually made it, teach this once, give a test, move on, school would be much shorter than what it actually is, instead of like a whole 12 years in kindergarten or preschool. Think about it. Now, have you ever had that moment where you're like sitting there in like algebra or history or whatever they called it, because in my school they called it social studies, or they called English, what's it called? CA, Jesus, what is it called? Communication arts, I think it was. I don't know. Anyway, they tend to repeat the same thing over and over and over, right? And for those wondering what I'm talking about, here you're sitting in there in 8th grade, you're in history class, we're going to talk about this guy called Hitler. Well, what about this other thing? Oh, it's too complicated. You'll probably talk about that in 9th grade in high school. And then 9th grade comes around, history teacher just waltz on in, and all of a sudden he's just like, have you heard of this guy called Hitler? And all the students just like, we just talked about it in 8th grade, what about this other thing? Oh no, that's too complicated, we'll talk about that next year. Next year never comes. They never talk about it. Whatever this mystically difficult thing that they're talking about is, must not exist. To them, fucking World War II must have just happened yesterday. because that seems to be the only thing they want to talk about. No, I get it. They don't call them world wars for nothing. They're pretty big and important. But at the same time, do you really need to spend the time every single year talking about these wars? And Hitler. And here's another thing. Whenever they talk about World War II, they always want to focus on Adolf Hitler and all that kind of stuff. They never want to focus on stuff that actually happened with America. And if they do, they usually just brief over it. It's like, hey, did you hear that Japan got bombed by America from this thing called Hiroshima? No. But did you hear of this mean guy called Hitler? He was a mean fellow, yes he was. But America, Hitler was bad. And I'm not saying Hitler wasn't bad, that's common sense right there. Hitler, Nazis, and everything that happened in World War II was bad, okay? But at the same time, for a class that's meant to teach you about American history, we seem to be glossing over the American part of World War II. Every single year, I swear to God, if I randomly just popped into school and I walked into social studies or history, I guarantee you, all I have to do is say Hitler. And the teacher's just like, did someone say Hitler? Oh, gee, I could talk about Hitler all day and every night, I swear to God. It's still an important part of history, don't get me wrong. It is. But at the same time, it's history class, not let's repeat the same thing over and over class. You're going to have the students just talking in unison. Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Hey, Jimmy, what's the answer to this, impossibly to answer equation? Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. I see you've been in history class, but I need to know, what does X equal to Y? Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Same thing happens to algebra. They get you in like nearly every subject with that one thing they're just going to repeat over and over and over. Like they can't cram it into your heads. I swear to God, school would be the easiest thing in the world if they just made it so that they only taught you like once, maybe twice, as like a refresher, and they didn't have the stupid credit system. But I guess that's why they have it. They can't have like stupid morons being like, I got a diploma. I'm gonna be a politician. I'm gonna be the CEO of a company now. What I've also noticed is a lot of schools don't have like what I call a life class. And this is stupid. Think about it for a second. Taxes, bills, applications, resumes, the real important stuff of what you do when you first get out of school. You think they'd be cramming this stuff all inside your head to the point where your brain would just implode with all this information. But no, they barely talk about it. Some schools do. But from my experience, the schools that do don't have it be a requirement. Yeah, I gotta know what's inside of a frog and the difference between electrons and neutrons, but not how to fill out a resume. Oh, no. I gotta know what X equals in this impossible to answer algebra question. But how to fill out bills and whatnot? Oh, God, we can pass that. Who needs that? Let's rip open a frog and see what's inside and talk about Hitler every single year. But like, how to get a job and pay bills and write checks? No, I don't need that. You're gonna see in the streets every now and then, you just walk into the gas station, this other guy's, this poor bastard, who's been in school, like, held back a few times. He's just going, Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad, I didn't know. Never have I thought I'd ever say Hitler this many times in a video. But look what you made me do. I'm repeating it just as much as school does. Okay, here's my proposition. And this is going to sound completely insane. I know. But can we, maybe lessen the amount of years it takes to graduate from school? At least to, 10th grade? Stop repeating a bunch of shit. Actually give them new information. Remove the credit system. Have it actually be based on grades and performance. And don't make social studies... If you're going to make social studies a requirement, stop repeating the same shit over and over. Actually give us new information. Remove science as a requirement, because who's going to need to know the difference between electrons and neutrons when they're going into retail? And also, I forgot what I was going to say there. They should have a memory class. They should! That would be like an extra curriculum. For those who have a bad time with their memory, come here at 2:30 p.m. so we can do our memory class. No one came here. Oh, geez, teacher, I forgot we had to be here at memory class. I don't know why that cracked me up. I forgot we had to be here in memory class. Woo.